Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Terminal Conflict, as today we will be kicking the arse of the pesky Americans. So I'm joined here by Akilaris.
Well, yeah, I'm Akilaris on YouTube, but I'm also kind of hoping to get this game out and about, and have some fun, crushing Soviet scum.
And a guten tag to you too.
Yeah.
There we go. So yes, Akilaris will be playing as the USA, I will play as the glorious Soviet Republic. Republic.
We could probably do like 1 or 2 rounds up to you, and we can like switch around so you can see what the USA looks like.
You assuming I'm gonna lose here?
Oh yeah, obviously.
There we go.
But it really depends how you play.
So very poorly.
Oh well.
Right then, to ask a good question about the game. So when two players are of course playing multiplayer then, do they take their turn simultaneously? And then obviously, is it a we go, well I go, you go system? Or is it a we go system?
It's a I go, you go system.
Hmm.
So, the tension will raise while I take my turn.
That's pretty cool.
But it also gives you time to think out your turn as well, like any good chess match,
Any good chess match needs a actual good chess player.
Well, if you're gonna put yourself down, I don't think you do too bad.
Right then.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, basically, I think when we choose our theaters, we go simultaneously. So.
Yeah, that's good then.
Keep in mind. What I tend to do is I switch over to like focus points, like FP, force points, and what it would be like where you see theater above. I usually switch it over to the focus mode, to see what I'm going to be doing, like disarmament or arms race.
I'll bring it about a nuclear apocalypse. I do love the sound effect for that.
Pardon?
I do love the sound effect. You know when you actually go to the actual doomsday clock, to the actual nuclear weapons, and it just makes like... I do love that noise.
Yeah. I've quite enjoyed a lot of things here. So what do I want to do? Not that I'm going to tell you, but what do?
You could establish a good, strong socialist party in the USA.
Nah. The Red Scare all the way, man. They're naughty Soviets will, we're just not gonna have anything to do with that.
Well, I've pretty much done what I can do here for the moment.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still, debating what I want to do.
Convert
it's been
to
a while since I played the USA.
glorious communism.
I played the underdogs.
So, how are we doing there, chat? Just to give you guys some time to get in here. Yes, today we will be wiping the floor with the USA, implementing glorious communism across the world.
Oh no, I might actually have to see what's going on. Restore chat. No, that's all working. Yeah, sorry lads. Mostly I'm debating how I need to contain, I should say, the Soviet threat, so...
Yeah, I mean, if you give me a specific
the
theater...
USA is actually in a pretty good position.
Was that the USSR?
No. The USA is actually... well, the USA starts ahead, right?
Yeah, considering you have allies.
The USSR has the initiative, so what I need to do is I need to, increase the influence that we have in our theaters.
Yeah, so, I mean, you of course start with influence in South America, Oceania. Nobody has any influence in Africa. Well, South Africa and North Africa, by the looks. I think we might have a slight... Yeah, we have a slight bit of influence in North Africa, don't we? South Africa...
Both sides, that's a fighting ground, right? So,
yeah.
Both sides don't have a whole lot there.
I mean, I could trade you South Africa for Canada.
No, Canada's mine. My home ground, stopping ground.
Hello there, Bebop. Yeah, it's pretty much like if War Games, as in the film, was a game. Or DEFCON. I suppose DEFCON, but a little bit... God, DEFCON is such a dark game. I enjoy that so very much. If you like DevCon, if you like the film War Games, you probably will enjoy this game.
I guess I can go here. Oh, that's disarmament, though. I'd rather not do that yet. Right then, so, here we go.
Disarmament.
Oh, you chose disarmament in, East Asia then, eh?
Maybe.
No, it tells me. That's a currently active theater.
That is sensitive information, my friend.
Sensitive information, right?
Ooh. How do we deal with the American pig dogs?
That's a good question. Garrisoned for retirement from theater. Okay, state affairs. Well, thankfully, like, I start out, like, ahead in some things. Man, I have fantastic choices, and by fantastic choices, I do not have a lot to work with. But that's okay.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. So how was it having a US carrier group in the Pacific? Well, in East Asia, was it nice? It looked nice. Shame it's
It
no
was
longer
nice.
there.
Well, the thing is you chose disarmament, so what I need to do is, like, I need to build up my forces again. Or at least deploy them where I need them to be.
You have forces?
Yeah, you kicked them out. You disarmed the theater, so I,
Are you saying that capitalists can actually stand in the field against glorious communism?
Ah, well, we did win.
And like in
Historically.
DEFCON is the goal to destroy the other camp, can you avoid nuclear war altogether? You
Oh,
can
yeah, you
win.
Can, there's an endgame tech where you employ the Star Wars system, and that will shut down nuclear deterrence.
Or you can go all balls deep and declare nuclear war, which is, in my opinion,
You can
the
do that.
fastest.
Definitely when I outspend the Soviets, but it's definitely a thing that can be done. It's also on XGRG's turn right now, so
Yeah, you better spend those fruit bucks.
We have enabled our nuclear
basically the point is by the end of the timeline, or like the winning condition, I think I need to be 100 points ahead, influence points, victory points ahead of the Soviets to win, or I need to shut down its nuclear deterrence. Mao Zedong, that's fine. Like there are a couple ways you could win that way.
Whoops.
So you needed money, eh?
To be fair, I meant to click hold over it and I clicked it, so yeah, we'll just go with that one for now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think we're good to go.
I'm surprised you didn't like Kim Il Sung.
Meh. I think it wants me to do something else. What is it I can do here? It's like I'm trying to click enter and it's suggesting I might be able to do something here. Right. Trying to end the turn, but I can't seem to.
Oh, because it's on my turn right now.
Oh, right, that makes sense then. I was thinking, wait a minute, I can't do anything. So yes, we are currently fighting for influence in this region. So you can see that the USA has a paltry 32% influence, a growing and mighty 13% shall sweep them from the field.
You're just jealous.
Can't be jealous if you're all together. If nobody has anything, then, yeah, nobody can be jealous.
Sounds too Soviet.
Sounds juicy.
That's fine. Most of China is still rather blue.
Abidi abada.
Exactly. Yeah. Now it's your turn. Now you can do all the things that you wanted to do.
Yes, what mighty things can we do? Damn it.
Build more nukes. That's always the answer during the Cold War.
Ah, if only I could launch them now, I would do.
Nah, I'd crush you, silly. Remember, we start with the advantage.
At
Like,
least
I'm
that's what
kinda
you
giving
think.
Too much away, but I start with the advantage in nuclear production.
And that's what the capitalists would have you think. But rest assured, comrades, they are only liars.
No. We have the bombs, okay?
We have the technology, we can rebuild him.
No, we have the technology. We can destroy you.
Let's see.
Hello, Norbert.
So then, Albert, how you do, my friend? Right. So I do find it interesting that you do have to manage your resources, that you can't have too much or too little of anything.
It's disabled right now, but if you have max max resources or too little of a resource, you would get domestic turmoil, and that would be a game ender. I think we plan on putting that back in, but eventually that'll be another thing that you have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely in the early game, too much military, it would be like a very bad thing.
Okay, and the armies and the navies are just a way to get influence.
There is combat as well, Bebop. But right now we're in a disarmed theater. So combat actually costs us people resource, so there's not much we can really do. If we had, if it was arms race in East Asia, all military actions are essentially like, you do you.
Mm-hmm. In regards to navies, it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors system. So a surface combat force will defeat a submarine will defeat a carrier will defeat a surface combat force.
Disarmament.
You didn't need this area.
Which one, Australia?
Yeah, the Aussies are the best.
Okay, so you can see the victory points that, okay. So this is where our victory points will be displayed once we do crush the USA.
When you crush the yeah, you can say that, but I don't think so.
I'm just gonna say a communist victory starts at home. You gotta believe it.
I was gonna make a Naruto reference.
It's okay, I wouldn't understand it.
Sorry. But it's okay, we're gonna hire this chap here.
I see you got a banker there in Israel.
Indeed. Yeah, if you have questions about the game, I will do my best to answer them. And I will do my best to make sure XCRG knows what he's doing. Help the guy out.
When does that ever happen?
You know.
Okay, so basically how the game works is, see that we have the years 1946 to 1951. Basically the game is subdivided into certain years, well, grouping of years. So we have our focus, timelines. Bite-sized timelines. So you have your focus that you choose in this first timeline, and then the second, third, fourth, and etc. So our focuses are going to be changing as we progress through the game.
Yeah, and basically every time we choose to arms race or disarm in a theater, the operating theater, we get turns. Like we both get to act on them. So I chose the Pacific Theater. It has 4 force points here. We both get like 4 chances, like 4 turns here. And we get to we get those to do what we need. We can also act in other theaters if we truly wanted to. Like, I figured I would act in the Pacific because XCRG really doesn't have
Anything.
the ability to do much here. Like, there are very few theaters that the USA cannot act in compared to the USSR, which is rather like more contained.
You could say that.
So, like, when I'm playing war games against Mervin as a he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in Central America. What are you gonna do, man?" I'm like, "Well, I can spend my people power and placed troops, but that's about it. Thanks, Mervin. Yeah, unfriendly AI. Yes, I'll go with that.
Okay. So China's an interesting battleground at the moment, then.
Pardon?
So China's an interesting battleground at this moment, then.
Yeah, one of the scenarios, like specifically focuses on the China and the Red Dragon Rising. Basically takes you through the Chinese Civil War.
Mhm.
It's actually quite fun, and actually really like you're totally focused on that theater, by the way, but it gives you a feel for the game.
So,
That's a tutorial I definitely recommend.
so would events be taking place then in multiplayer matches? So as you mentioned, the Red Dragon Rising. Is that something that developers plan to put into the multiplayer?
I believe so. Like I believe so. Like I'm gonna go with I believe so. I know in the War Games match, they have the Middle East stuff being worked on right now with Nasser. We had to work out a bug where long after he was dead, you could use the Pan-Arabism event, which was rather
Unfair?
powerful. Yeah, because it's like 5% influence in a theater all the time. Like, you could do that once per timeline, and you could easily control the Middle East that way.
So do you think the developers might ever develop a operational unthinkable series of events?
Well, we also have modding capabilities, so if we don't get around to it, and I don't know, like, I'm the PR side of things, but what we do have is modding capabilities, and we hope to see like modders come around and basically tell their stories or create stories in this game, and see what they do with that. We're looking forward to that, actually. But it's your turn, man. Go, go, go.
Is it my turn? Oh, right, there we
so.
go. I can click
I
end.
can't do anything.
Oh, right, I thought it was your turn.
Nah. Oh, now it's my turn. That was weird. Where do I want to put these? Here's good.
So as you can see, each region grants us a certain amount of resources that we choose. So we have here finances. Actually, is this finances or is this... Yeah, finances,
Yep.
people,
Finances,
elites,
people,
military, and
elites.
government.
And they all have their things. Like finances you can use to like buy, more military hardware, and certain events you need to use finances. Likewise, people you can do military access. Military actions in unactive theaters. So we're acting in the Pacific, but that wouldn't stop XTRG from doing something naughty in, say, Asia or Central America or something along those lines. Likewise, I could do military actions in theaters that aren't currently inactive. Because as you see at the top near the map, you can see PACI, DSM. So the first one is the theater that is currently in focus, which is the Pacific, and what kind of activity we're doing there, which is disarmament. By the way, when you do lose some power every time a timeline goes on, so when Mao hits 0, he is dead. Just saying.
Are you saying communism doesn't make you immortal?
No. I think that only works for Lenin.
I've actually seen his tomb, actually. Quite interesting.
Well, I definitely have not, but yeah, no, I can see why.
I mean, I checked for fangs, but no, those teeth weren't very sharp. Ba-dum-tsh. So when will you be writing the new book, Diary of a PR Guy?
My memoirs? Probably when I'm closer to being dead.
So after this timeline?
Huh?
So after this timeline, then yes?
Oh, maybe. Who knows? I hope I have a bit more years left than that.
I see regions have numbers. I'd say points and Tibet is 0. Does that mean that Tibet...
That's influence. That's the amount of influence. So at 0, it means no one has influence there. And as you see to the bottom, I'm looking at East Asia specifically. 16% insignificant, 15 out of 90. That's the influence that 15 is the total amount of influence XTRG currently has in East Asia. Out of 90 is like the total amount. So that's 16%, which is insignificant. And this will matter when we go to the end of turn and we look at when the game charts the points. Sukarno. Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering where you're going to pull that man out of his... Yeah, you'll get Indonesia. I'll have the rest.
Is that right? I get the best parts.
And like each territory has a max of 5 influence that you can spend there each way. So like 10. 3 is when you have control over the area. So like as you see through Australia, 333. That means like my military units could like pop around pretty easily. There are a couple other things that benefit you that way, but typically when you move into these areas, you create war zones. Definitely during an arms race. So Tibet isn't worthless, but neither myself or XTRG have really...
So what you're saying is Tibet is currently free?
Yes.
So only in
this
this
will not be seen in China.
only in this darkest timeline is Tibet free. Is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, right now. But we have now guaranteed that if this video could go to China, it never will see the light of day.
Pretty much. I think they've outlawed time travel in China.
Did they? Well, that's a smart move, actually.
I can imagine Doctor Who's quite important there.
What do I want to do?
Convert to communism?
Nah. Where'd the fun be in that?
Better Red than dead?
Exactly. Not going to happen. No, it's disarmament, so that would cost me... not really worth it. I would rather do something silly. Like this.
Okay, what was it that you just did there, sorry? Let's see. Oh, bombing campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That's naughty.
Yeah, you don't need North Korea. Obviously, best Korea is United Korea.
You mean, best Korea, East Korea?
Best Korea is USA Korea. Look what it did to Japan. Like, look how much nicer blue looks compared to orange.
So I'm just wondering if I can go to nuclear war yet. It's not yet ready.
No, I didn't attack a high-rated zone, and because we both did disarmament, the Doomsday Clock is essentially as low as it can go.
For now.
Yeah, countdown to midnight. We're not that close yet.
Yet.
Yet. Can't do anything yet.
So it's rather interesting when it comes to the leaders, basically. I mean, it's like, obviously, you can spend 2 of their power to place 1 influence anywhere in that zone, but obviously then they'll disappear sooner.
Spend 1 of their influence and
do it directly.
Like, here we go. So this is the end of the timeline. So this is what I'm talking about. The amount of influence you have in an area determines the amount of victory points you can gain from that area. So, like, as I said, the USA has a lot of influence everywhere. So I'm gonna, like, come out ahead in regards to spending.
Not terribly much, though.
Quite a bit, actually. And then there's the Arctic, where we can throw all of our nuclear bearing subs, you know, for fun.
So what is the function of the Arctic? It's actually something I've not used myself in.
You don't really do much there. You can just put your subs there, and you know they kind of like hide up there with their nukes, like the Canadian-owned nuclear submarines that will destroy the world.
Hmm.
Give us time. We're just pulling you in with maple syrup and poutine.
I do like it sticky.
Stretch.
Okay.
So I will explain my turns as I go. So, for example, I'm going to do an arms race somewhere.
Oh, please let it be Europe.
I say nothing.
That's Europe then.
Nah.
So, would you like to explain the difference then between arms race and disarmament?
Well, actually, I'm looking at arms race right now. So basically, rising local tensions enables mandate for regional war zone declarations. That means we don't really need to worry too much about spending people power, and it'll be an active theater. Typically, also the choices that you can choose, like disarmament, usually allows you to choose between like finance, people, and government, whereas arm race usually allows you to choose between like elites and military. Military spending obviously allows you to do more in that regards. It's basically theaters that get hot, very hot, and you know it's typically if you play your cards right, you can ratchet up the doomsday quite heavily.
Interesting. So, it's going to read the
So you
event here.
disarmed Europe.
The fate of Germany. It is a time of jagged suffering and hardship among the ruins. Since the end of the Great Patriotic War, a Soviet military administration holds power in the German sector of Central Eastern Europe. Seeking a transformation to a socialist society and reparations for the crimes of the defeated Nazi regime, intelligence services sent from Moscow hunt down prominent German offenders and scientists.
Disarmament.
Yeah.
You don't have to choose me what you pick. Like, I have a rough idea about that event. I've done that one before, but
Mm-hmm.
I would advise not telling me what you choose or the effects that you choose. But you can go. Well, maybe you can. Like, we'll do this one this way. We can do a second round where we. No, Italy. Oh no, woe is me. Eh.
Hmm.
People power. State affairs. What can I do here? I guess. You know. Yeah.
Charles de Gaulle.
Exactly.
Well, joke's on you. He's French. Could lower that.
C'est la vie.
He's just as hostile to me as he is to you.
That's fine. He's just, you know, less hostile to me than to you, so that's why he's on my team. My team, best team. So you're seeking to gain influence here, right? So that's what
Depends where here is, really.
Huh?
Depends where here is.
Deep, man.
Hmm.
And then you proceed to spend all the influence. I see.
Don't know what you mean.
These are my areas. If we had chose the same area, you wouldn't have gotten any influence. I just had other areas of focus. It involves oil and freedom.
You invading Canada?
More oil than that.
New Zealand?
Nope.
Getting closer. I can feel it getting warm.
by warm you mean Sub-Zero, then yes.
Yeah, that's just how we like it in Russia.
Yeah, I suppose I walked into that one. Where do you go for vacation? The gulags in Siberia. You know, just casual. Put up a parasol.
Hmm.
I am watching and waiting.
There we go. So I mean,
Lack of Tito disturbs me.
it looks like you lost Scotland,
Did I? It still says 3.
does it?
Yeah.
We shall see, comrade.
Hmm. I don't know. You sound rather uppity right now. Might have to crush you.
I must
With
break you.
nukes.
Oh, please do it.
I would win.
But you'd lose the moral high ground.
Yeah, well, if I'm the one still standing, I can just say, yeah, it was totally the USSR started it. They shot at some radio towers. We were forced to respond.
So, how's De Gaulle gonna work then? What's he gonna be up to?
That's a good question.
Arms race.
You can just sit there in France. Ah, here we go. Arms race in the Middle East.
Okay, so basically this means that we can deploy troops in the area.
Oh yes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want the oil. It's all mine. Nasser.
We have launched our first object.
That
into
might have
space.
been a poor life decision.
Benazir?
Yeah,
He's gonna make it.
Commands can now deliver
he's gonna
nuclear
die.
carrier fleets
He's gonna learn how to fly.
nuclear strikes.
No.
Tell me, do you believe in life after love? I can feel something deep inside. I really don't think Nasir is strong enough. I love that Lupus. How you doing, my friend?
Let's see what I need to do. Let's see. Oh man. I can't buy more bombers. I need them. Hello, North America. I've got to have bombers around here somewhere. Yes, I do.
So you want to explain the difference then between fighters, well, basically interceptors and bombers?
Fighters. Well, they'll intercept bombers. You can actually take a look. They talk about their passive abilities and such. So, if we go to words I cannot, here we go. Armed Forces. So, Bomber Command has about 3 things. They're vulnerable against fighter commands and carrier fleets, obviously. But they have about 3 things. So they can rebase. They right now, with a certain tech, they have nuclear capabilities, so they can drop. They are considered a place that you can drop nukes from. What they tend to do is they blow up land forces really, really well. and that's like their primary motive. Whereas like fighter commands are very flexible, but air superiority basically engages any air force active in the local region while combat ready, and they also tend to reveal any non-submarine sea forces. Like they have their strengths and their weaknesses. Typically, if you have land forces in the area and you don't want them to, die, you you need to give them air support. Otherwise, bombers can just like blow up your tanks. As an example of a thing that you could do. And fighters are pretty good that way. Like they would also protect, like if you just recently deploy troops in a region, you don't have to worry about them getting blown the hell up, which matters quite a bit. Um, like I would avoid wasting Nasser too much, because I think he triggers the Pan-Arabism event, but I don't think we've actually started that event chain.
So what you're saying is go balls deep in Egypt.
I think you can if you want. Like I'm not gonna stop you, but like you never stop your enemy from doing silly things. Because right now, like the Middle East is a fighting ground.
Definitely one way to put it.
I'm just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still on your turn.
Yeah, yep. Still, just doing something real quick.
Yeah.
Hmm. So you can attempt to assassinate leaders as well, can't you?
You can. It's a lot easier on leaders that are almost about to die anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like leaders that are still very much alive. Like, it would be harder on Nasser than on Ben Gurion. Oh, that's a timeline end. Mao Zedong has also passed on. So now we charter the points. And I'ma crush you like a bug. Yeah, like one of the defeats that would pop up is domestic interest mismanagement, and I'm pretty sure we don't have that currently enabled.
Which
Oh,
is
here we
quite
go.
lucky.
Highest amount victory, highest amount of VP at the end of 1991, or gain 100 more VP than your opponent, or complete the space race. And by complete the space race, I mean like you get that thing that I was talking about. Oh, wow, there's not a whole lot of disarmament this time around. That's fine. Do I want to ramp it up here? Nah. I don't get a whole lot of turns here. I get turns here, though.
There we go, moving
Oh,
into the next phase.
Yeah, we're in 1956 to 1961. Where all the good times happen for all the good little girls and boys. Yeah, nothing would happen here, so maybe not a whole lot of force points here, but it'll do. Yeah. Yeah, I need that.
Arms race.
Love the sound of that.
Hmm. Tito is leading the communists in Western Europe. Yeah, pretty much.
Nope. He's gonna die. He's going to pass on. It'll be a sad day. There'll be a funeral. All my friends will be there.
You have friends?
I have plenty.
All of them communists.
All of these. Maybe Thatcher eventually, if we get that far along.
Hmm.
I wonder what you did here.
Don't know what you're talking about. Hmm.
You don't need those.
We have launched our first animal into orbit.
Oh, I see. I see how it is.
Our bomber commands can now deliver ballistic strikes.
Yeah, I totally forgot to do that. So you got the points there. I was like, no, I totally forgot the space race. Which, see, I'm in character. I'm very much in character. Forget about the space race. Soviets do it. It's like, oh right, that was a thing.
That was a thing that we should probably be doing right now.
That's fighter commands. Here we go. I too can put a dog in space.
Yeah, but my dog's better.
No.
Glorious communist dog. So you might put a rich dog in space, but I put a stereotypical dog in space.
The everyman's dog.
Yeah, the everyman's dog. Dog. Duh. It's gonna make a whole bunch of stereotypes here, I'm sure that's what people like.
All the poorly managed Soviet accents. Yeah, I suppose.
Yes, all of them. All of them together. United. I see you getting behind the way of thinking. So we're gonna see nuclear war in Europe?
With a doomsday clock at 1? I doubt it.
We shall see, comrade.
I will win. I am quite confident in the capitalist desire to blow up all the things. No, but I like George. That was rude. But that's my Germany. It's quite the American influence in China. Guys, you should probably not tell me this.
I think you're aware
I
of that
know
one.
this, but at least I know what you're looking at right now.
Man, that is a awesome name. Noodle sausage. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you don't need that. That's right, noodle sausage knows what's up. Thing is, I just need to keep you contained. Ah, drats.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about German reunification?
Poorly. I'm not very fond of this.
Hmm.
Oh, here we go. Here's a homeboy that you might know from history.
So what does it actually mean then when it says appropriate? Is that basically you lose that unit?
Oh, god damn, I forgot I had troops there. No!
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
So, you like
Not
those
bad.
bombers, right?
It's fine.
Man, it'd be a real shame if somebody else had bombers there.
Fortunately for you, I have more bombers when where that came from. I just forgot that I based some bombers in London. There's going to be a party. Goodbye, Birds of Fire. I was already dead by this point.
Like you assuming it ever died. It's like the Dark Empire from Star Wars, right? You know, like Palpatine's gonna like come back.
It's fine, I'm still winning.
Hmm.
I just need to make sure I blow up all the tanks. You don't need those.
Winds of change. So how you guys doing in the chat then? Ouch.
Our bomber commands can deliver strikes at a greater range.
Well, at least I know where a bunch of your troops were.
I know, right?
One bomber, one fighter, two tanks. Oh.
I mean, Tito is gonna live forever now. He is, in fact, gonna learn how to fly now. That was a boo-boo, though.
Hmm?
That was a boo-boo.
Feels good to be winning. Okay. How to crush the Soviets even more.
Okay.
Hmm.
disarmament.
For Canada. I guess I could have gone here.
Yeah, it's Canada.
Oh, I'm aware. How many points did you get from being over here?
Oh, enough.
Oh. Oh man, well played.
Glorious USSA.
Oh, that's good.
So, how'd that feel?
Hilarious.
You know, I think it looks better in orange.
I guess, I suppose. I'll let you have that one.
So you know what, like, Californian Empire?
The Californian Republic of America? Yeah, I guess so.
So do I get, like, a point of influence per unit?
Point of influence per unit? I don't think so.
Yeah, I got 8 from that, so that was quite fun.
Oh, that was because you chose to disarm North America.
Hmm. The Democratic Socialist Republic of California, coming soon to a theater near you.
I have words. Many words I could say right now. Not going to.
You might have man in space, but I have 2 dogs in space.
Mine!
Is this Civil War?
Yeah, I guess. The Second American Civil War?
Could be a third, if you play cards right.
Mm. But that was an impressive play. You just went straight in and just, got some influence here, eh?
You could say that. So you have the first army, basically,
It's gonna get blown the hell up.
So you know these fighters, you have to choose a region for them to operate in. It's this passive, like... Actually, no, I don't have any fighters anymore, do I? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. Air superiority. It's a beautiful thing.
Welcome to the Warsaw Pact, Italy. It's a real big shame I can't deploy tanks on American soil.
I know, that's why I put troops into
For
Eastern
now.
America as soon as I could. I say tanks, but I mean like an army command, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
De Gaulle. Your life has been only to make sure that communist influence doesn't spread much further into France. That's all you're good for.
Hmm.
Disagree, sir, with your control of the eastern United States of America.
Yeah, I'm just saying something. I haven't lost part of my home nation.
That's fine.
Yet.
It's a matter of when. Yep. Yep.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Who's that? Oh.
He came.
Right away, though.
Like, where did he spawn? Italy?
No, he was in Eastern Germany.
Oh, right, okay. Better Germany.
Better Germany. No, lesser Germany.
Yeah, he didn't really have fun, did he?
Oh, well, this is going to be a long reign of terrible decisions, I suppose.
So if I don't know what I'm doing, then you definitely can't know what I'm
Oh, I
doing.
don't play the USA very often. I usually play the USSR.
Yeah. It's all coming out now.
Huh? I'm a terrible Canadian playing socialists. Bad Canadian. Oh, I should probably have the chat up. Oops. Democratic Socialist Republic of California. Suppose. Hmm.
Arms race.
Yay!
You want to turn Europe hot again?
Always.
I like a toasty Europe.
What does the USA do all this time in this game? Oh, I just blow everything up. That's my plan.
You mean
All
I
the
bomb
war.
people and they don't like me?
That's been my strategy. Seems to be working.
Mine is just not having a bloody clue what to do and just hoping it works out, and then when it does work out, pretend I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Take it's your turn.
Indeed. No, De Gaulle, you were the chosen one. Oh no. Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, what are you going to do, sir?
Invade France?
Yeah. I kind of figured. It's a domino effect in Europe. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
What's that say?
I was just thinking of like the domino effect in Europe. That's essentially what's going on.
No!
Xi Ming.
All of them at once.
Oh wow, yeah. America. Fuck yeah. That might be something I could do. Hmm.
Disarmament.
Hey.
Ooh, what was that?
Oh, we did a joint disarmament in Europe.
Alright, so we both, like, get more focus points back?
We get double the influence, but not. I mean, double the focus points, but none of the influence.
Hmm. Wow.
We have sent our first man into space. We have completed our first rendezvous. We have completed our first orbit.
Oh wow, you had a lot of military points saved up, eh?
Aye.
Mhm.
Hmm.
There's a lot of dead people. Oh, you rose them up there because they'll try to like fight each other for influence.
Oh, do they? Alright. That's strange. Might be, I
Well, you
suppose.
have like two moguls essentially like fighting for influence in a single region.
Mughals? I thought they were India.
No, 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 no.
Hmm. Might be a UI thing. Be nice to know about. So you got control of the USA back?
Nah, but I weakened your control in Italy.
I know which one I'd rather have.
It's fine. Mm. This will be actually a rather short timeline because we both chose Europe. You're really focusing on it, even though it didn't have a whole lot of force points this time around. It's like you're trying to make a point or something.
What, never back down, even if it doesn't work.
Hmm.
So the actual percentages then, like next to a focus, does that like indicate how much you'd gain if you do that?
Well, if you choose like percentage to point, that would actually show you the actual amount of points you gain in that theater. With a certain amount of influence, you gain more VPs, right? So that's just something to be aware of.
Hmm. Are you gonna disarm the Arctic? You know, take those guns away from them penguins.
No. No. Not at all. What I am gonna do is something like this.
Disarmament.
Oh, you're disarming Central America. Oh, for 2 influence?
It's alright. It's not special. Wait, what was it that you did?
I didn't know this was the thing that I could do.
Feels more confident.
No. Something that you're not gonna like.
I'm gonna disarm the USSR?
No. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna feel these things just disappear.
Now this.
Nuclear war? Please?
The Rio Treaty. In theory, it's supposed to give me 15% influence in Central America. Or at least that's what it says.
Oh.
But I don't think that's how it worked.
So would you say there is a limit to how many leaders you really want to have?
In a certain area, then yeah, but normally it doesn't really matter, right? So, well, it does matter, of course, but in a certain theater, you can have as many as you want, but you only have so many government points, right? So you need to like choose which leader that you need, depending on your strategy. Of course, you're in Italy still. I'm actually more impressed with the amount of people points that you've got to be spending.
Yeah, just wait until I'm at the moon landings. So, sorry, I meant Strategic Defense Initiative.
Arms race.
Arms race in the USA?
Yeah, man. So I can do silly things like
Nuke the USA?
no,
Oh.
no. Take back control.
That was fun while it lasted.
You don't need influence here. It's America. But my tanks. But my tanks. Oh, poor tanks.
What goes around comes around eventually.
Yeah, you've really focused on arms racing, like putting a lot of troops around here. And it shows.
We have successfully landed a man on the moon.
I'm just looking for the spiciest leader. Oh, this is extra spicy.
Relative?
Relative to a post-communist victory timeline, yes.
You have to win first, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you beat me to the moon. That's sad. JFK is rolling in his is turning in his grave right now.
You mean New Moscow? Hey, you get there first, you get to name it.
I was here first. And then you took it from me.
How come it's no American leaders? That's a shame. I want a North American leader. Can I have Bernie Sanders, please? It's gonna be spicy. Hmm. So where are your carrier air groups then?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you all about that.
Well, now that you said it, you might as well.
No. Let's see. Well, that was quick. Man.
He lived a good life. Until he was defeated by a Soviet army group. Which, promptly...
Got bombed.
I don't feel much. So, like, do fighters, do you need to actually tell them to do something? Because it's like this passive doesn't seem to be doing it. I was only like
They
a
need to be
percentage
in
chance.
that zone. They need to be in.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was just literally like they had to be in Europe. Okay, that makes
Nah,
sense.
that's theater. That's theater.
Hmm.
That's why when I saw your fighters in Italy, I was like, well, can't bomb here. It was a sad day. It's your turn.
Mm-hmm. Damn it.
Goodbye, Macmillan. You served me well.
Goodbye, friend.
Ah, so it begins.
Nuclear war?
I'm pretty sure I would win.
But would you win well?
I'd win well enough. Um. Hmm. Like, I suppose this is probably a good idea to do still. So you're disarming,
Australia.
Yeah, there was some influence to be had here, but... Yeah. Fair enough.
You know, I like these regions better when they're orange. Better orange than blorange.
Orange.
Hmm.
Just need to win.
But that is getting harder, isn't it?
67 to 21? Not really.
I'd have lost by now, usually.
It's because I'm nicer to you than Mervyn.
Hmm. Okay. Man, it would be nice to have France. You mind sharing it?
No. The heck with that tank. It's bothered me for the last time!
Hmm. So, you know, if I sent a fighter group into where I think a bomber is, would that destroy the bomber group?
No.
Or do you have to use a bomber to destroy a bomber? Is it like fire beats fire?
You either use an army, to go in and take out the bombers, or, you bomb it to hell and back.
And then bomb it again, just to be sure.
Yeah. If you want to waste your turn that way, then yes.
Hmm.
Our submarine fleets can now
I do so enjoy wasting my turns.
You only have so many. Also, I don't think in a disarmament phase that you can do that in a region that I control.
Hmm.
This is the same reason why I couldn't bomb Italy after you, took control of it. Without making it a war zone. That's a downside of disarmament, is it limits your ability to engage in combat in controlled regions compared to more neutrally inclined regions.
Well, there we go. Hmm.
What will you choose? So how many nukes do you have?
Enough.
I was wondering if I could catch you offhand. Gaddafi, eh?
Yeah, boy. Oh me, oh my.
Did you see something you like?
Oh yeah, you could say that. I like it nice and thick.
Arms race.
Whee! Time to fight in America.
Hmm.
I think you missed this person, XRG.
You say it that much. You say that, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah? Oh well.
You see, I was born in the Southern United Kingdom. South Kingdom, best kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Is it a tough choice, XGRG?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I can do something.
Yeah. Oh, you took Israel. I think. Nope. No.
Israel? You mean Israel mine? Might be a bad
I'm
joke.
not gonna say anything.
Might be a bad joke, but if you say it with enough confidence, it sounds like a good joke. Oh, shit.
Yay! Space stations. They're so much fun.
Hmm.
I must contain the Soviet threat. You need to rise the doomsday clock? Nah, we can have a peaceful game. Unless he's trying to, unless they're referring to the fact that you're in the launch all nuke screen.
No, 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 no. No.
Yeah, I'm looking at chat and it's like, you need to raise the Disney clock to launch nukes. So it's like, so that's what XTRG is thinking of. Thank you, chat.
Don't know what you mean. Why can't I transfer this stuff from the Mediterranean to the Southern Mediterranean?
Because it's not an active theater in arms race.
Fuck, I couldn't see what happened. Damn it.
The American Civil War still rages on.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yay! It's under my control now.
But it wasn't for so long.
I know. I've ignored it.
So you will be, didn't expect that.
Might have been a poor life decision.
We have built and launched a space station.
I see, sir.
You know there's only one way this can go.
Me winning? I know. I know. Goodbye, Assad. No one liked you. Goodbye. Goodbye. The fun timeline.
The best timeline.
I'm getting near to game's end here. And the question is does XTRG
Win? Yes.
no. Wow, there are so many arms race choices here today. I wonder if it's telling us something.
Push the button.
Push the shiny red button, I guess. But I don't need to. I'm gonna win.
Ah.
Hmm.
Arms race.
No. But my France.
My friends. Damn it.
Try those nukes. Try them.
I would.
Never fly.
I would if I could. Trust me.
Yay! Yes!
Close.
The USA has neutralized the nuclear deterrent, so the USSR, you have prevailed. So how many nukes did you have at the end there?
Well, I got it down to a draw. I had about 30 odd.
I had 33. I put all my military spending at the end into the space race. I could have picked up Merv, but that was the last one I had to do.
Damn it. So I was trying to take out your carrier group in the Mediterranean, but I couldn't move a sub there.
I think you needed to arms race
Yeah.
the Middle
well.
East, and you never did that. You were focusing a lot on the influence,
Oh, dear.
which is fine. Like, that's one way of doing it, but you start so far behind as the USSR that you need to really think about how you go about doing that.
Well, that's been fun then. I hope you guys have
there you
enjoyed
go.
that.
Like, it shows us the arsenal at the end there.
Is it? Oh, I've like tabbed out. Well, I'm out of it. What did you have then? What did I have?
VP wise was 99-23. Influence wise, 29% to 15%. Arsenal 33 to 30. And units killed 10 to 5.
Yeah, you can't get with those goddamn bombers.
I wasn't sure how many of your people I was killing.
I had plenty more.
But I know I just had to keep bombing the stuffing out of you, and you know, I might win, or at least, you know, make you have to focus on other things.
Well then, thank you so very much there, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you'd like to see more, then do stay tuned for more terminal conflicts in the future. So until next time, goodbye from myself, and goodbye from Akelaris, if you'd like to say goodbye.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, he lost, and good game. Goodbye.